Hello everyone, welcome back to Bits and Bob's Divination. My name is Caitlin, and today we're going to be looking into your month of February, any blessings on their way in for you, as well as Aquarius season. So if you're ready, let's go ahead and dive right in. Alright, so welcome back my beautiful Kindred Spirits and anyone new who may be joining us here today on the channel. It's wonderful to have you here. Do feel free to subscribe as we go through if you're interested in the Monday videos that I put out. But yeah, today we're going to be looking into the month of February as well as Aquarius season and specifically the blessings coming through for you. We're going to be using 3 different piles today. Each of them are very uniquely different for sure. Sometimes we have a common theme. This time it's very different, so do feel free to take your time with each of them, and you can choose multiple piles if you want to as well. And if you're interested in a relationship reading this month, I am opening up digital and snail mail readings for the month of February in case you want to look into any kind of relationship you're interested. So these don't have to be specifically romantic relationships. We can look into relationships that are also related to your family, spirit, yourself, ones that are connected to with specific spirit guides or any other ones that you might be interested in. I'm going to be doing those throughout the entirety of February, so do feel free to check those out. There's going to be different spreads and different ideas, and everything is going to be down below as well as on my Instagram if you want to look even further. But yeah, definitely feel free to check those out because they not only help you, but they also help the channel. So I really do appreciate it. You're really supporting this space, and yeah. Let's go ahead and look at these little hearts. So for each of the piles here, with each of these cute little hearts, they have printed pieces of different writing on it, and each of these have different numbers. So this one is this little shaped heart with the number 9 or 6, as well as 8 and 2. So if that is calling to you, if this is the heart for you, then this is pile number 1. For pile number 2 here, we have this more wacky shaped heart, but has a lot of character, and it has only zeros on it. So we have 4 zeros. So that is pile number 2. And then lastly here, but definitely not least, is pile number 3 with the numbers both 6 or 9 as well as 0. So that is the little heart for pile number 3. So before you start heading off to the timestamps and checking all of that out, I'd just like to invite you here to take a deep and cleansing breath here to connect with your intuition and to really kind of ground yourself down before this reading. So I'm going to go ahead and do it here with you. So let's go ahead and take that deep cleansing breath together. So as always, there's no right or wrong way to do this. You can choose all of the piles, flip-flop between them, take and leave what resonates and what doesn't. There really is no right or wrong way, and there are no rules to this. All of the timestamps will be down below in the description, as well as within the chapter marks of this video. And if you're interested in those snail mail or digital readings for Valentine's Day, for the entirety of February, for relationship readings, do feel free to check those out down below, as well as on my Instagram. So with all of that said, let's go ahead and get started here with pile number 1. Hello group 1, if you've decided to choose this specific little heart with the numbers either 6 or 9, 8 and 2, then this is the pile for you. I'm going to go ahead and set this down right here for you so you can see it during your reading today, as we are going to be focusing on what is coming in energetically for you for February, as well as Aquarius season and any blessings and tools that are coming towards you. So we're going to be using the charms today, and we're also going to be using several different oracle decks, and the tarot deck of choice today being the Meraki Tarot, which I'll have all of this listed in the description down below so that if you're interested you can check all of that out. But we are going to go ahead and start getting into this, so do feel free to get settled, take some deep breaths, really center yourself, your intuition. We're going to see what comes in together here, so as always you're welcome to use your own intuition here to see what comes through. Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and get started, so do feel free to send your energy in through time and space. And let's see, group 1, what's coming in energetically for you for February? So interestingly, your first card here is actually from this deck and only specifically in this deck, and it comes right after the World card, and it is Meraki, which is, I think, a Greek word. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure it's a Greek word that basically represents that you are putting your whole soul, your whole heart, your whole being into something that you create and put into the world. So it's just like really singing your song, really singing and moving to your own tune and your own beat unapologetically or wholeheartedly and fully. So really great to be seeing here right off the bat for the energy coming in for your month. There's a lot of authenticity. There's a lot of following something that feels just really right specifically to you. I want to see what else comes in though, because there might be roadblocks around that. But let's see, Group 1, what else do you have coming in for the month of February? Okay, so we have the Page of Cups here. Really pretty. I love this Page of Cups. The Page of Cups usually also can represent someone new also coming in, or a creative partner that you might be working with, a friendship, a relationship in which this a heart and soul project that you're working on, like a passion project or a hobby that you really enjoy that you're going to be enjoying with someone else, something that you're creating, moving, or expressing into the universe might be with someone else. And if not that, then another facet of yourself might be coming forward because of this. Interesting. Let's see a little bit more information though. We're going to get one final card here before we pull some more cards here in a minute. So as always, do feel free to send that energy in. It really does make a difference. So Group 1, the month of February. Okay, and then we also have the Chariot, which is universally for those who were interested in this, universally for this year, for 2023, when you boil it all down numerologically, it actually is the year of the Chariot. So that's really cool to have this coming in as well, especially during Aquarius season, when it is all, Aquariuses are really good at innovating and moving us forward. So if you're not an Aquarius yourself, then especially since we have this like winged energy of the Chariot, right? We have an owl and two birds, a lot of air energy, which Aquarius is related to the air element. There's a lot of like power in your voice, in where your voice can be carried. So it might not exactly be something that you are creating and that's very tangible. It can be something that's maybe more technological. Maybe you're making videos, maybe you're singing. It could be something that, again, comes to your voice, so like plays or through something that's through your voice, right? That's what I'm really getting here, is through your voice or through technology, which has that connection to the air element that I have coming in here. But there's just a lot showcasing forward movement, shifts and changes that you might be making with someone creatively, right? There's a lot of energy showcasing that someone new might be coming in. It doesn't have to be someone new to you, but just someone in which you are kind of collaborating with to create or to voice something into the world that is very close and dear to your heart. So it can be something that is like, a play that's kind of to everyone. It could be something like a video, a film or something like that. Or it could be something very, very personal to you, right? It could be that you are just communicating with someone very close to a loved one, having someone to support you for that. Someone having a conversation that needs to be had that's maybe very difficult, but it comes from the heart, and that's being sung as well. There's a lot of freedom with the amount of cards we have here showcasing that bird, of freedom, of flight. They have in all of them, even with the fish, they kind of have their fins out and moving. There's a lot of movement. I don't know why I'm feeling called to these little sheep. Maybe it's like to remind yourself not to be herded, like with everyone else, right? To kind of voice your own mind here, stick out a little bit from the crowd this month, really play around in your original thoughts and the uniqueness that you have within you, which is a beautiful month to be doing that in general, because one, there's really never a wrong time, but I always feel like February has this like winds of change. It goes very quickly. A lot of people like, they're like, wow, we're already 2 months into 2022 by the end of it, right? Or 2023. That's how crazy it feels. Like it just is a shift, it's a change. It's like a finally getting your feet into the water, into the sand. But yeah, I feel a lot of creativity, forward movement, and really speaking from your heart, and possibly a bit of collaboration here. But I want to see what else you have coming in. So we're going to be looking with the different animals and flora and fauna in this deck to see your blessing for the month. So this is going to be showcasing a tool in your tool belt. And I felt really called specifically to this deck in like less of like a blessing from an outward source, but more like a part of your personality that's going to be enhanced this month, that's going to be really useful to you this month, that you're going to really grow or heal in this month. So we're going to see what that is for you. Group 1. What little part or piece of yourself is going to be such a blessing to you this month? Something that you can really run with and maybe even express within. Ooh, interesting. So we have the duck and chrysanthemum, which is luck. So like the lucky duck. And then I was also feeling called to pull you another one, which was right on the top, which is the hawk and thistle. Another bird. These are all birds. Goodness, you have so many birds. There's a lot of bird energy here. If you listen to signs and signals from spirit through birds, this is definitely a month to keep an eye out for those. They're going to probably give you a lot of direction in terms of like what this heartfelt feeling is, if you don't know already, or where your creativity might be taking you. It might be showcasing you direction and signs there. But yeah, you had the duck and chrysanthemum with luck, and then you have the hawk and thistle with graceful persistence. Graceful persistence isn't about being kind of like forward and quick and do it and get it done. It's not like persistence in that way or having to push against a wall. It's graceful, and graceful represents giving yourself grace, giving yourself time, giving yourself ease, and easing your way into it, and maybe fumbling a little bit, and that's okay. So it's like keeping your eye on the prize, it doesn't have to be a prize that you like win at the end of this, but keeping your eye on where you're trying to head and you're heading. But also knowing that you might come across some thistles, some roadblocks in your way, and that's okay. And that you are very resilient. I see a lot of resilience here and a lot of flexibility that might be coming up from this card. But like I said, you also have the duck here, and this duck is like reminding me of like the ugly duckling story. I haven't read it or even thought about it in a really long time, but basically just the idea that like what is, unique to each of us is sometimes not what the entire herd of sheep are doing or what everyone else is doing. And right, even this lucky duck is kind of showcasing their colors on their wings, which is to represent forward movement and freedom and originality. So that's all coming through a lot and quite heavily. So you're going to have a lot of opportunities that are going to be blessings to you because of showcasing your voice, by being more yourself, by maybe letting a little bit more of yourself come out, a little bit more of that song to be sung. You're actually going to be able to have more opportunities come in, possibly where these collaborations come in, but also just in general, you're going to notice more luck in your life. You're going to maybe feel more lucky in the things that are going to be handed to you, given to you, or maybe even something you decide to fight for. But we definitely have those two coming through for you. But we're going to move on to your next card because I could talk for ages about those two. I just love that you had like owls and different birds and ducks and all different forms, right? They're not just one type of bird. You've got a lot coming in here with wisdom, with communication, and the dove. You have the hawk with that like, keeping your eye on the direction or your heading. And then you also have that like kind of, I just love the way this duck is looking, that kind of sparkle in their eye with the duck. So there's a lot showing up here, but we're going to move on to your next card here. And this is going to be the card on a just sort of an inkling of how your relationships might go this month. And this can be, you can send in a specific relationship you want to look into. It can be a relationship with yourself, with spirit, a platonic, familial, or romantic relationship, however you wish. Otherwise, we're just going to look into the collective message here for you all. But if you want to look beyond this specific message, down below and on my Instagram, I am offering different Valentine's Day relationship readings. So if that's something that interests you on any relationship that is on your mind, then we can look even more into detail this month. But let's see what you have coming in here in general for the collective. So group 1, what do you have coming in for your relationships this month? Your relationships, group 1, or a specific one you might be having on mind. Okay, so you have desire here. Be certain of where you place your passion. And it kind of feels like, especially connected to this Page of Cups, but just in general, and this message has been coming up several times, so it might be just like a very specific one or two of you that this just keeps coming out in the different readings I've been doing, but basically I just feel like there is possibly someone in your life who just doesn't deserve to get to know about your passions. You know what I mean? Sometimes we have people that, even if we don't like them, even if we know they're toxic, even if we know that maybe it isn't the best person to be telling like these things we're most excited about, sometimes it's best to kind of keep it away from them, because they're just going to rain on your parade. You're maybe very aware that they're just going to rain on your parade, try to ruin it, try to spin it, and make you think about it late at night. So for some of you, if you had that feeling coming through, then yes, still go after these desires, go after the things that are really giving you that passion, that drive, that excitement, and that authenticity that is showing up here. But you don't have to serve it up on a silver platter to just anyone, right? You get to choose, you get to pick and choose. Otherwise, I also do see that like there are people in your life who are going to really be excited about this passion, maybe want to collaborate with you, and those are the people to go ahead and tell or to get excited with as well. So see how this resonates for you, but I'm going to go ahead and set this one down, and we're going to pull your final card here before ending with your charms here in a moment, so do stay tuned for those. But we're going to be doing your Aquarius message. I'm just tripping on my words today, but we're going to be doing that here in a moment. But if you have been enjoying this reading so far, if you have gotten something out of it, it really does help the channel. If you could give this video a like, I really do appreciate it so much, or leave a comment down below. But we're going to go ahead and get started with your Aquarius message for the month. So this one is going to be directed into things you could start innovating, changing, shifting, or bringing more originality into, which has been very much the theme of your reading in general. But let's see what else there is. So an Aquarius season message for group. Ooh, interesting. Group 1. So we have the antagonist. Very interesting. And it says here, opposition, deceit, and malice. Like I said, my words are all over the place. I feel like I'm talking so quickly for you all. But we have the antagonist here. And what I'm getting here is, like I said, the Aquarius season is all about kind of innovating, bringing originality up to the front. They have very forward, quick-witted goals, and they're very intelligent and, speak not only from their mind, but also their heart. They're a fixed sign. So the idea that the antagonist is showing up is telling me that maybe you're not an Aquarius, or you're someone who is more of a fixed, like, earth sign. You like it comfortable, quite cozy. You like to stay in. Maybe you don't really like to go out that much, or nature's more your jam. But there's something social that's coming up here for you. There's a change and shift in your personality, or not really that you're shifting in who you are, but rather just kind of bringing some things to the surface, and giving them a little bit more light, a little bit more time in the day. And so I really like seeing that here. It's like you're rewriting your story, and you're allowing yourself to kind of go against the opposite of who you are, in not a inauthentic way, but kind of an uplifting, let me try this out, put this costume on and see if I like it kind of way. So yeah, that's kind of fun. So it's just allowing you to maybe play in a different character this month, and maybe be a little bit different than your typical self. And maybe realize that it's a part of you that you've been wanting to voice for a while. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and move on to your final bit of this reading with the charms. So do feel free to send your energy in through time and space. And we're going to go ahead and mix these up and see what we cast on top of the cards to finish off those little details. So here we go. February and Aquarius season, group 1. Okay. Ooh. Curious where it's going to land. Okay, so it's kind of falling between these two, but I'm going to go ahead and zoom you in so you can see a little bit closer here. But what we have here is just a couple of charms. We don't have too many. We do have another charm showcasing luck, though, so I find that interesting. We have the ladybug or lady luck kind of energy. Ladybugs have more also to do with signs and signals from spirit. So signs and signals from spirit might be coming in around the last quarter moon this month, so keeping that in mind timing wise, but otherwise it's also kind of showcasing over here on the antagonist that when you jump into that new version of yourself or playing around with a new version of yourself, kind of evolving into it, changing shells, changing shape, that there's going to be a lot of luck that comes from that, almost as like a new expression of yourself that you haven't gotten to play around with for a while. Also becoming more aware of it as well. We have the awareness charm. So this is also showcasing that you're becoming more aware that this part of you is waking up. And so that might be showing up. And it could be that this person that you might be meeting, this Page of Cups energy, or again, like I said, it could be another version of yourself or a piece of yourself, like I said at the beginning. They may play a part in helping you to unlock it. Other things that are showing up here, we have the temporary charm, which this represents basically like a temporary hold on something, right? Whenever we use a paper clip in like a journal or whatever, it's to just hold something there temporarily, but not usually long term. So when I see this is just showcasing that maybe this opportunity for you to take flight isn't that you can't ever do it after this point, but you just have a lot of things lining up right now that make it a little bit easier or more poignant for you. And the last two charms, we have the growth charm showing up here with the jungle leaf. This represents kind of like being able to take up a little bit more space. It's making me think of like specifically like a rainforest leaf. The rainforest leaf. So it could be that some of you want to just take up a little bit more space, and maybe that's why those wings are expanding, But we also have here for your final one, which is the breaking a habit, breaking a cycle, breaking a ritual, or something like that, showing up here. And usually I see this as like a sign to kind of break a habit, which might be showing up here with that hawk and thistle, which is all about that graceful persistence. Maybe you tend to start a project and then you lose momentum because you feel like if you break that cycle, if you stop, if you quit, or you feel like you've quit just because you've given yourself a little bit of space or rest or ease. But this is just reminding you that it's okay to jump back on the wagon. So that's what's showing up here with the hawk and thistle. So those are all of your cards and charms here. I do hope this reading was useful to you. If it was for your February and Aquarius season, do be sure, like I said, to give this video a like. It really does help the algorithm and lets me know that it was useful to you. You can also let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Love hearing from you all. You can also subscribe if you'd like to, if you haven't already. I put out educational videos for tarot, charms, and other things, and I definitely plan to here in the new year as well. But I also do a lot of readings for your own self-growth, for monthly readings, 2-week readings, and many others. So you can check those out on the channel if you want to already. Have a little peruse or subscribe to see the new ones that come out every Monday. And if you want to support the channel even further, the Kindred tip jar is down below. It all goes back into the channel, and you can also check out those Valentine's Day readings for any relationship you want to look into, right? So it doesn't have to be that you have to be in a committed romantic relationship for you to be able to utilize these readings. It can be just looking in at a check-in with yourself. It can be a reading with spirit, a loved one beyond the veil. It can be with just anyone you have a relationship with, really. but I will have all of the different options for that down below. It helps to support you and to support the channel, so definitely feel free to check them out. And yeah, I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Hello group 2, if you've decided to choose this little wanky looking heart with 000 on it, then this is the pile for you. I'm going to go ahead and set it right here so you can see it during your reading today, as we are going to be diving into your February blessings as well as the Aquarius season and the energy that's going to be coming in for you for the month and how to best navigate it. We're going to be doing that using the charms, which I'm excited to bring back here today since we didn't use them last week. And I also am going to be using several different oracle decks and the Meraki Tarot here. So if you are ready and settled, you can go ahead and do that now if you aren't. And if so, we're going to be getting going. But all of the information on the different supplies that I have here will be listed down below as well, so you can check those out. But we're going to go ahead and start looking into the energy. I'm feeling just very hyped up and ready to go for you guys today. So we're going to just see. So group 2, what do you have coming in for February? Goodness. For February, and I decided to take the one right off the top for February and the Aquarius season. So we have the Queen of Wands showing up here first off, a very warm queen, right? This feels like sunrise or sunset. There's something very cozy about this queen. Usually I find that the Queen of Wands is kind of a little bit of a gossip, a bit of a flirt, charming, kind of funny. They have that kind of socialite energy to them, but in that like fiery way, where this one feels just really kind of calming, kind of warm, like by like a warm campfire. So I'm getting something that feels just really like cozy in that. And there's also these monarch butterflies, which feel like you're migrating or moving or changing in some way. It could be that you're physically changing or moving in terms of like a new home or a new place of work or something like that. But it feels like it's really warm. It feels like it's like you're taking on a new day or a new light. Interesting. Let's see what else there is coming through for you, group 2. Group 2. I also like those optimistic sunflowers, right? Maybe that's the optimism that I'm getting here. Interesting. We also have the Queen of Cups. So 2 queens coming through. If I can get it to unstick. So 2 queens. And this Queen of Cups has sort of more of this sparkle energy to them. There's like the water, they're jumping out, leaping up for this cup. So there's something about kind of reaching a little bit higher. Both of them are looking up towards the sky, up towards something higher, bigger that they're evolving into, changing or shifting towards. I feel like you're just changing your direction, like your compass shifted, like, and it doesn't feel like, I mean, maybe it's a little scary, but I do see just like a lot of optimism and a lot of like, it's worth the reach. It's worth the change for the better, for the warmth that you'd receive. Let's see what else there is. A little bit of context. Group 2 here, group 2. What else do we have showing up here, group 2? I don't know if I felt called to either of those ones. Group 2. What else is there? Do feel free to send your energy in. It really does make a difference. So it flies right out. Okay. And then you also have the 4 of Pentacles. Interesting. The 4 of Pentacles feels like the opposite, right? We've been looking at all of these cards and they've been showcasing this like warm, open sky energy, right? These 2 have like this very warm, open sky, open energy, looking up, optimism, excitement, reaching for something higher and higher and higher. And then you also have the 4 of Pentacles, which can be, it goes both ways, but it's like the world is closing in. Like there's this closing in, sheltering in energy, and almost like you feel like you're gonna miss an opportunity, right? We have these migrating birds, we have the leaves of change, and then we have this squirrel making their little squirrel nut cache in the ground and trying to survive a storm, try to survive through something, or move through something that seems really difficult, that feels like it's closing in. So like I said, I feel like there is a bit of like, yes, we have all this lightness, but there's something heavy behind it, and that heaviness comes from kind of holding back on a change that needs to maybe come in, right? They're like holding on to all these little crystals and hoping that like they'll make it through. And yes, there is a good thing about like kind of closing in, or not closing in, there's a good thing about like being resourceful and holding things in and holding off for a little while, and maybe that's useful to you for right now. Maybe it's what you're going to have to kind of hunker down for the month. But it does seem like either by the end of the month, things are going to start to warm back up. You're going to be able to reach for things again, try to maybe open your circle, your point of view a little bit more. But I also feel like for some of you, it's that you're being challenged kind of by yourself to see if you can move out of that space, if you can step a little bit outside of that circle, if you can migrate a little bit further to change and move a little bit. Because like I said, I feel like there's a lot of movement in those like migrating birds, and then also this Queen of Wands looking at these migrating monarch butterflies, right? And the butterfly, especially this monarch one, usually is a symbol for change and transformation, and also sort of an evolution, a personal evolution. So I feel like some of you are needing to kind of get pushed a little bit and like moved away from that comfortable fire towards one that might be burning a little bit brighter for you, reaching a little bit further, reaching a little bit higher for something that isn't maybe the most comfortable thing to do, right? It's not giving me like specific context here. Like we're not really getting like if it's career or a personal healing journey or physically moving, but it does feel like you're wanting to reach higher, but feeling like it's best to stay in. And obviously the decision is up to you. If it feels better for you to stay in, to stay where it's comfortable, stay where it feels safe, then if that feels like it's the right decision, then do so. But it does seem like you're kind of at a battle here within your own mind of if it's worth it or not. So I want to investigate a little bit further here, and we're going to move to your blessing card now. And I specifically felt called to this deck to look into your your blessings, but also like I felt really called to less of an outside of yourself blessing and more of like what's a part of your personality, a part of your personal strengths within yourself that is coming forward, right? So we're going to see what that is for you. So group 2, what is coming through for group 2 for a specific part of themselves that's going to be either enhanced, healed through, grown in? I feel like for whatever reason there's another one. So we're going to look for another one here. The one you did get, though, is the salamander and black pepper inspiration. But I feel like there's more to it. So group... There we go. Oh, interesting, you got the squirrel. Okay. You have 2 squirrels showing up here now. We've got the squirrel in the 4 of Pentacles kind of holding on to their cash, to their nuts, to their... their little crystal pile here. And then we have a squirrel preparing, right? We have the squirrel and the chestnut with preparation. And then we have a very fiery card with the salamander and black pepper inspiration, right? So we have this conflicting energy that's going on, and I don't know if it'll get resolved for you this month. It doesn't really feel specifically for the majority of you that it will, but it does seem like you're working through this energy that's kind of going against each other. If you feel inspired to go towards something brighter, warmer, and better, that would be better for you, or if it's better to hunker down and prepare and stay in. And both aren't necessarily bad choices. They feel very evenly matched. But they are showing up here with 2 queens, so you do have a little bit more leaning towards this way, where like the squirrel is kind of, if you look at the way that they're positioned, they're looking down, whereas the salamander is reaching up. So it kind of just is, again, what feels right to you, but this is the energy definitely surrounding you right now. But these are your blessings, right? So both aren't necessarily going to be better or worse. They're just going to be different. So both of these can be on your side, which I know if you are coming to this reading hoping for a little bit of like, yes, go this way or yes, go that way. Sometimes the cards can be picky like that. So we're going to see your next card and take a little break from this energy and look at a relationship card. I tend to do these every single month, and this is going to be a card on the collective and any advice or energy coming through mainly for a relationship in your life. So you can send in your energy for a specific relationship. So it can be a relationship with yourself, with spirit, with a loved one beyond the veil, a platonic or friendship relationship, a relationship with family, or a romantic one. But just do feel free to send your energy on that if you have a specific one or in general. I do want to mention too, though, if you want to look beyond just the one card that we're going to be doing here today, for the entirety of this month, I'm also going to be doing private readings that you can check out down below and on my Instagram that are all about relationship readings and any kind of relationship you want to look into. So if you want to look further than this, we can do that together if you're interested. But group 2 here. What do we got? I think it's that one. Group 2. Let's see. So we have clarity. Bright paths of understanding will open. And then we have more of that 4 energy, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 flowers here. And then we have that 4 of pentacles, preparation, feeling. So I really do think that you're going to gain a lot of clarity this month, possibly by talking to someone in a relationship about the situation, possibly the person that you were thinking of. Otherwise, you might find some clarity if it's related to someone, especially someone who feels more like this Queen of Wands or this Queen of Cups energy. But I do see that you're going to be gaining quite a bit of clarity within a relationship. So if you have a lot of questions, if things feel muddled, or if you're seeking that clarity with someone, I can see that definitely coming through for you. Or it could even be that they are gaining a lot of clarity on you as well. So let's finish off with your final card here, and we'll also finish off with the charms here just afterwards. Sorry, I have something in my throat that's just not going away, but this one is going to be, and I haven't fully finished yet, but this one is going to be on your Aquarius season. So we're going to be looking into a message that might be coming through for your Aquarius season. I'm just getting called that this is the right card, so I'm just going to go ahead and take it. That was so fast. And of course, you've got the 4 of thread, loom. So we have 444 showing up here. A lot of cards showcasing that stable, safe, comfortable, foundational energy. And then we have that with the 4 of thread, loom, boundaries, community, and responsibility. So again, I feel like a lot of you maybe are wanting to take flight, wanting to shift and change in something, but are feeling maybe tied back, right? That could be that responsibility feeling. But since this is your Aquarius season message, Aquarius season is all about innovating, shifting, changing, or bringing an original new idea to it, a new spin. So if you feel like maybe you have to still stay in, or you have to, whatever it is, like stay and prepare and get ready and kind of hunker down, maybe there's another way to do it. Maybe there's something that you haven't found clarity on, or you haven't looked at fully, that can still meet all of those things and get the other as well, right? To find some sort of compromise or a better understanding of your situation that might open up. So yeah, I see that showing up here with the loom, right? Rewiring the situation. It reminds me of sort of like if you play Tetris, right, and you have to switch and shift the shape around to make it fit the best way possible. And I feel like you haven't maybe looked from every perspective. So there's something there that you could still shift and change so that it'll lock in a little bit better for you, and won't make one of those little spaces. So that's what I'm getting here for your cards here. So we're going to go ahead and move on to your charms. So do feel free to send your energy in through time and space, and this is going to give us some more details. But let's see here. And if you've been enjoying this reading so far, do be sure to give this video a like as well. It really helps to support the channel, and I really do appreciate it. So thank you. But we're going to go ahead and look into these charms. So here we go. Group 2. Okay, those were hiding. Those were definitely hiding. So I'm going to zoom you in so I can explore them here with you. Do feel free to take your own take on each of these charms. There might be something very specific to you that is going to come out, so definitely listen to those intuitive thoughts that are coming through. The first one we have here is the owl. The owl can represent clarity because, right, they can be very... they face the challenge head on and like directly. So there is something about really facing this a little bit more with your eyes a little bit wider, a little bit more open, showing up here. It was upside down though, so there can be a little bit of like you have to sort of work your way up to it, especially if it feels a little bit overwhelming when it comes to like shifting and changing that shape that I was talking about. But there is the opportunity there. We also have here with the salamander a lot showing up here with salamander and black pepper with inspiration. So maybe these are things that are going to inspire you, or it could be just that you're feeling very conflicted when it comes to these things. But all of them fell kind of near the edge with the black pepper. So we have the stimming charm. I also can see this as a ladder. It kind of looks like a ladder like up to a pool or something, right? Diving in a little bit further, kind of going into the shallower end or the deeper end. But I always saw this as like stimming, because if any of you have where you feel like you need to stim or something like that, this is showing up here as well. So maybe by allowing yourself some breaks or giving yourself a little bit more ease there to kind of help with that overwhelm, that might be useful to you. But we have that showing up here. We also have the tic-tac-toe charms. This is giving me more of that like sort of strategy element, because this is like the O's of the tic-tac-toe kind of board. So it could be that showing up here. It also could be the things that are inspiring you are possibly board games or kind of jumping into the unknown as well, because it kind of has that like black ominous kind of feeling, but kind of just jumping into the dark, seeing what happens and being inspired by that. And then we also have this kind of looks like a smiley face, but I also see this as like a little frog. I don't know why, it just always kind of looked like a little frog. So again, another leaping into the unknown, jumping into the unknown, and kind of again jumping upwards. Like all of them feel like they're moving up. So it does feel like it is going to help lift you and move you up towards something, but it does mean that it's going to be at the cost of something you've been trying to hold in as well and kind of hold on to. But then we also have the fantasy charm. So whenever I see this, it's like the pumpkin from the Cinderella carriage that they had. So this makes me think that like you might just feel like this is something out of your reach. It's a fantasy. It's something in the clouds. But I'll tell you, Aquarius season is all about being in the clouds. It's about being in that fantasy realm. It's about embracing a bit of that. So maybe that's true for you as well. So we do have a lot of charms showcasing that this could be really beneficial to you, but it just either might be at a cost, or it means that you need to rearrange some of your responsibilities, rearrange your planner, your way in which you approach it or have a perspective on it, to make sure that either both can happen or that you can compromise it somehow. But either way, these two energies are definitely battling this month, and it's always up to you. The cards may show you a lot, but it's always up to you if you want to reach up a little higher or hunker in to find that safety. So whichever way you go, I hope that it is useful to have known this information. If it was, like I mentioned, do be sure to give this video a like and let me know in the comments down below how it resonated for you. And if you want to be a part of this little community here on the internet, do feel free to join in by subscribing. I put out new videos every single Monday for love, career, spirituality, timeless readings, 2-week readings, and so much more, as well as educational videos on charm casting and other things. So do feel free to check that out all down below by subscribing. And if you want to support this channel even further, like I said, I'm doing Valentine's Day readings this month. So if you want to look into any kind of relationship, I have different offerings down below for that, for spreads and things that might be useful to you. And these ones are also going to be both digital and snail mail readings. So I have more options, more availability, and more ways to be more flexible with these. So do feel free to take advantage of them, and as it both supports yourself and the channel. So with that said, I am wishing you the best for your month of February and Aquarius season, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye! Hello group 3, if you've decided to choose this little heart with 6, 9, and 0, then this is the pile for you. I'm going to go ahead and set it right here so you can see it during your reading today, as we are going to be diving into your month of February as well as Aquarius season, the energy that's coming through for all of that alongside a blessing for the month or an energy most on your side. So I'm really excited. I've been really enjoying these readings and also been feeling just very quick and fast paced with them. So I might fumble over my words today. That's just been how it is, but we're going to go ahead and do that using the charms as well as several different oracle decks. And the tarot deck of choice today is the Meraki Tarot. I've been loving this one so much, and it's perfect for Aquarius season. It has so much of that like open energy to it. So we're going to see what comes through. But if you want to see more about what I'm using here, all of the information on that is in the description down below. But let's go ahead and just get right into it. So do feel free to settle yourself. You can light a candle, you can get some water or some tea, you can listen while you get some chores done or errands, whatever you'd like to do. But do feel free to get comfy and cozy here. And let's go ahead and get right into it. So do feel free to send your energy in through time and space, and let's go. So group 3, what do you have coming in for the month of February? So we're looking for specifically the main energies that are coming through. So we have the 9 of Cups. This one loves to come out in this deck. So we have the 9 of Cups here, which is the wish-making card. It represents manifestations coming through, wishes coming through, opportunities, and promises. There's lots of beautiful energy that comes through with the 9 of Cups. And also it represents fulfillment or feeling like your personal success is coming through as well this month, that you might just feel really like, heck yeah, I got that done, or I did that thing. So we're going to see what else there is showing up here in case there's any roadblocks with that energy. So group 3 here. Okay, we'll flip it over. So we have flipped over here the 2 of Pentacles. Okay, I really like this one because it showcases like 2 different skies, right? This is like when you're seeing a rain shower to the left and then right next to you is a sunny, beautiful day, right? It's this like weird opposition that's happening, or a weird serendipitous moment of opportunity that doesn't really show up all the time. So I do see that there are like things that feel very unrelated, where other people might look at them and feel like they're unrelated, like signs and signals from the universe that are coming in, and like for whatever reason they just feel like they connect. So if you have things that feel like they don't make a lot of sense to everyone else, but for whatever reason this connects to you and this connects to your dream that you had, and then you saw that road sign with the number on it, and whatever it might be, if they're all starting to connect, then it's definitely going to be sharing messages with you that relate to the 2 of Pentacles and this 9 of Cups energy, which is all about, like I said, wishes, things you're trying to manifest. If you've been doing any manifestation, law of attraction work, then that might be coming through for you. But it does seem that the signs and signals also relate to finding balance and harmony within your life as well, right? And I see resilience in the idea that, right, like you can weather any sunny day, but you can also weather the storm. And also that sometimes the sun, as beautiful as it can be, a sunny day can feel hot and like you are exposed, right? So there's a hardship on both sides of this, but I do feel like you're very resilient or flexible and adaptable enough to be able to take it on this month. There is like a really nice feeling that you definitely have people beyond the veil or something like that on your side already. But let's see that final card here. I'm already like blabbering, but it does feel like there's more coming in. So group 3. Ooh, this one just jumped right out. So you actually got 2 here. You got the 7 of Cups and the Hierophant. And the 7 of Cups represents just having like a lot of ideas, a lot of possibilities in your favor this month, a lot you can dabble into. And it's also following up with that 9 of Cups energy, right? So you have a lot of opportunities in your kind of in your tool belt this month. And I don't see any roadblocks here showcasing like you can't do any of these things, but it does mean you have to find kind of a bit of a balance here. I do feel like you could go full on hyper fixation on every single one of these cups that you're seeing here, every single subject that you could possibly think of, because each of these cups represent a hobby, an idea, a new work thing that you're doing, a passion project, running your kids somewhere, like there's a billion different things maybe on your mind as well that you want to do and you want to achieve and you want to work towards this month. And maybe narrowing that down as well might come from some of these signs and signals that you're seeing from Spirit, because it does seem like they want to help in that aspect of balance. But then you also have here the High Priestess, which is also connected to the moon. So the High Priestess has a lot to do with the unseen, sort of the magical, unseen fantasy, beyond the veil kind of realm, and also can represent like your intuition. So I do feel like your intuition is going to be really on point this month, and again, a lot of signs and signals coming from beyond the veil, beyond this arch, beyond the light showing up here. And because it's so heavily connected to the moon, it also could be that if any of you are more magically inclined or things that you like to do personally are within that realm, that around the moon phases are going to be really helpful for you in planning this month, and definitely is something to look into. We have more of that like light and dark energy with the pillars here as well showing up here. So there is a lot of balance coming in, and they really want to showcase a lot of signs and signals to help you create balance, because right now you have a lot that you're trying to accomplish, and I think that's awesome. I think that's great that you have so much. And again, it may not even be that you're going after all of these things, but just a lot's on your mind. And I think they want to help declutter that. They want to help you kind of find a little bit more of a well-rounded way of looking at it and adapting the plans that maybe you already have going into the month. So definitely keep an eye out. There's a lot showing up here with those signs. With that in mind, let's see what else you have coming in. Maybe it'll give us some more signs and signals for you. We're going to look into your blessing card now. And this one, I felt really called to this deck and it was kind of telling me that like we should look into not necessarily a blessing from like something outside of yourself, but rather like a personality trait, a part of yourself, or a sort of aspect of yourself that's coming through to kind of benefit you most this month, right? So sometimes like we are braver around these people, or we're more confident around these people, or we feel more this or whatever around different people. Kind of thinking of it that way, right? We're enhancing something about you might be enhancing by the energy of this month. So what part of your personality or trait that you hold is going to really be beneficial to you this month and on your side? Okay, let's see what you got. Of course, you got the bat with hellebore, and it says intuition. So, of course, yes, we have the bat showing up here, and they have to see in the dark. They have to look in a different way at things. So I really see you looking into that intuitive, magical side of yourself possibly is going to be really important for you this month and helping you to manifest the things that you want, or better yet, to find harmony in the things that you already have, to be better successful in those things, to have better success in those things. So I definitely see that showing up here. Again, if you guys haven't checked out my video that I've done a couple of different videos in the past on your psychic and magical gifts and different spiritual aspects that might be coming through for you, do feel free to check those videos out, because I think that'd be really helpful for you if you haven't already. But I do feel called to pull one more, and each of the piles, for whatever reason, I felt called to pull 2 from these today, so we're going to see what else there is. Any other aspects that might be showing up here for group 3. Goodness, that one was aggressive. Okay, let's see what it is. So we have, the eel and iris. I don't get this one too often, and it is safety. Interesting, right? They're trying to hold something back. So there is a bit of safety coming in here. If you haven't already checked out group 2, and this isn't really feeling like your pile, definitely feel free to check out group 2. But this doesn't feel like safety in that you're like holding yourself back, but more of like a boundary or a a warning that you put out to other people, right? Like you're kind of like, this is my flower. This is my flower, right? And you're letting everyone know it's your flower, and you're putting those boundaries down. You're letting people know that this is how you feel about something. This is what you want out of something, and being quite transparent about that. So I do see a lot of transparency is more of the word that I would say here than safety for you this month. So I really see that a part of yourself, by being clear, by being direct with your communication with other people, is going to benefit you most. And again, really listening to that communication, even if it's not always the clearest, from Spirit could also help you in creating safety for yourself. So we're going to keep those in mind, but I want to move on to your relationship card. So this card is going to be on a relationship in your life. So if you want to go ahead and start thinking about a specific relationship in your life, you can go ahead and do that. This could be a relationship with a family member, with yourself, with Spirit even, especially with the cards that you got, or with a more romantic relationship, a friendship, however you wish to see it. But we're going to go ahead and look into that one. I also want to mention here as well that if you want to look further into this specific message or a relationship in your life, I am doing relationship readings this month for Valentine's Day and throughout the entirety of February. So if you're interested to look into any relationship you'd like, do feel free to reach out for those. It does really support the channel and can support yourself. So let's see first, though, what you have coming in for a relationship message for the collective here for group 3. Group 3. What do we got? Ooh, peony. Okay, so we have a lot of really ruffly flowers, which I find really interesting in the different cards that you've already gotten. And we even have some daisies over here. But we have peony here with health. Focus on all parts to make the whole. So this is making me think of like the health of the relationship, right? So this can represent that maybe, if you think about it like beyond just like the health of the relationship, I also got the idea that like maybe you're like gym buddies with this person. So maybe that could be a literal message for some of you, that you're going to be hanging out in that way or connecting in that way. But I also see just in general that there might be like some relationship maintenance that might need to happen this month. Again, that direct communication might be coming through, or that it is just in a very healthy spot. Definitely play around with this and see what intuitively is coming through for you. But that's what we have here for you, peony with health. And then the final card that we're going to be pulling before we do all of the charms here in a moment is a card on your Aquarius season. But if you have been enjoying this reading so far, do be sure to give this video a like. It really does help the channel. Really appreciate it so much. And it helps with the entire support of the channel. So do feel free to do that or leave a comment. But we are going to be looking into your Aquarius season message here. And Aquarius season is all about innovation, change, shifts. It's a very forward-moving, forward-thinking kind of mindset. And so I want to see what comes through for you around that, and how this season can best benefit you. So group 3 here. Oh goodness, that one just flew out. A lot of your cards are just like flying. Let's see. So you got here the protagonist. This one I think came out last week as well, interestingly. So we have curiosity, drive, and motivation. I always tend to see this one as about letting yourself be the main character of your own life, right? It's that kind of idea. I don't want to be the supporting role. I don't want to be the sidekick. I want to be the main person in the story. So, right, it's about allowing yourself to be the main person a few times during the month, right? That you can put yourself first a little bit, or that even if you're putting someone else first, that at least there's a little bit of more equal balance happening there, because there is a lot about harmony and balance and the health of a relationship. So I do see that maybe what you need to do for Aquarius season is that direct energy that can come from that forward movement, forward thinking energy. So maybe a lot of you this month and this season, it's going to be useful for you to really voice your thoughts, your feelings, and how the relationship or how this energy is really affecting you. And then the other thing that I wanted to talk about as well with protagonist that's coming through is more on the drive and motivation side of things. In that I really do feel like you're getting a lot more movement forward, right? But your drive and motivation is coming from feeling less overwhelmed by the amount of things that you're feeling like you have to accomplish this month, right? To be successful doesn't mean to do all the things, but sometimes it's just successful in one or two things, and allowing yourself to kind of narrow things down or put a few things aside or come back to them later, and that's totally okay. It doesn't mean we're quitting out on those things, but just giving ourselves a little bit more balance and harmony and space there. So that's really what I'm seeing in accordance to this card with Aquarius season. But let's see what you have coming in with your charms. So do feel free to send your energy in through time and space, and we're going to see what charms come through for you. So here we go, the month of February and Aquarius season for group 3. Okay, so a few of them, and one fell somewhere. Okay, so you also had this one, which represents feeling a little bit overwhelmed, right? You have like this cluster of things just stuck together. So we have this cluster feeling definitely showing up here, more on that like 7 of Cups energy, but I'm going to zoom you in so you can see a little bit more here. So most of your charms fell over on this side. We have more on that 7 of Cups representing, again, that like a lot of things getting clumped together, and then that making you maybe feel a little bit less secure, feeling less safe, less of that safety feeling, because this a safety pin, right, it's supposed to kind of keep us safe and not be like poked by it. So when we see this one, it represents feeling insecure or feeling unsafe about something. So again, I feel like you, and this fell in the Castle in case this represents something about the home, or about a fantasy of some sort, but there is something showing up here of feeling a little bit, again, overwhelmed by all of it, and because of that, it makes you feel less secure to be able to take any of it on. So I'm really getting the feeling that listening to your intuition, listening to spirit, and any guides coming through for what to really go after is going to be helpful in narrowing and finding that balance, but also helping you to actually make movement, actually help you to move and motivate yourself to and have the drive to move forward by narrowing that down. And then we also have the Leo charm showing up here on a little butterfly. So that's also showing up and might represent something for you in terms of a person who is a Leo or a fire sign in their sun, moon, or rising. Maybe you're a Leo and maybe that's why you're feeling this overwhelm. It also fell next to the cup full of stars. So it could also be that some of these signs and signals might be coming from something around Leo in the stars, in terms of like actual constellations. Leo also says here generous, in case that also resonates with any of that. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that one there, because you have a few other ones showing up here. You have the turtle charm, but the turtle's kind of on its back. It's feeling a little bit like it can't get itself over, it can't flip itself over. So again, maybe that's why you're feeling blocked. I know I feel when I have too many things on my mind, too much I want to do, that it's almost so overwhelming that I don't end up doing any of it, and that's why that motivation and drive is feeling a little bit stagnant or stuck there. But I do think that that this isn't like the first time this has happened for you, so I also do think that you'll find your way through it, because we have the history charm. This is a very, very old coin, so it might be just that it's something you have history with. It's not something new to you, and I don't feel like it's something that's going to fully stop you from moving forward, but it just means that you have to move a little bit slower than you thought or narrow things down. And then you also have the, I don't know if you have ever had like a candle or a kid's toy or something like that, where you have to like pull the little plug thing out before it'll work, to sort of save the battery inside, but that's kind of what this is. So it makes me think of like, what do you need to kind of remove to kind of get yourself moving forward, right? And again, we've kind of talked a lot on that, so it's definitely really focusing on it for you. Harmony and balance is key for you this month. Listening to your own intuition, moving a little bit slower is going to give you some more successes. And then you also have a lot showing up here with that intuitive signs and signals element. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom you out here so you can see everything, as I do hope this was useful to you for your month of February and Aquarius season. If it was, do be sure, like I mentioned earlier, to give this video a like. It really does help the channel, so thank you. And also you can comment down below. I love hearing your guys' thoughts and feedback. And, you know, welcome to this little corner of the internet if you haven't been here before, so do be sure to subscribe if you'd like to, as I put out new readings every single Monday for love, career, spirituality. I do educational videos as well and definitely want to bring out some more, so if you want to hit the subscribe bell, do feel free to. And lastly, if you want to look into those relationship readings to support yourself and support this channel, do be sure to check those out down below. I'll have both digital and snail mail reading options available for you, so you can check those out alongside different spreads. So there's a lot of flexibility. Do feel free to check them out. And yeah, I wish you the best for February, for Aquarius season, and for your month. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.